Okay, good afternoon, folks. I just wanted to make a quick video. As you guys know, I've been off this week, and just to get away from trading for a bit and have a little break. But I have done a little bit on a demo, just for a little bit of the day, just to see how I get on with it. Now, I did mention last week I am shifting over slightly to more penguin style. Now, it's very similar to Max, very similar indeed. Still got the same 2000 tick chart, the same channels, everything's exactly the same. But the entries are slightly different and you get a little bit more time to think about it. So this is my chart for the day. There was two trades basically. That one made me a little bit nervous. It came back, but same with there. You got to sort of I'll zoom in a little bit. You've got to put up with the pullbacks. Obviously, we had this push down. Now, I've looked at this, and the penguin guy took both trades, so that was good. This one, I actually posted on the forum while I was in the middle of it live. And when it came down one tick above there and started to go back up like this, I was very tempted to bring that down to break even, and I may have got away with it, but I just thought, I'm on a demo, forget it, a sim rather, just let it go. And same with that one, it almost came back, do you know what I mean? But penguin guy took both of these. The only difference is he took his short below that bar there, and I took mine down here, and I'll tell you the reasoning behind this. So that's the chart for the day. So we opened up here, and as we pushed down, we seemed to, I think I started off with this channel here. When we hit here for a third time, I opened up that little bit again, but obviously there's probably likely something over the day that's going to come from these tops. It often does. So we are working our way up, and I wouldn't be surprised if we decide to have a bit of a dump there. But all in all, a really good day. You definitely have more time to think about it. So, for instance, you guys know that I'm not a great fan of picking tops. But if I talk you through this particular trade here, what my thought process was. So we had this channel. So I'll move to the tiny touch. We had this channel down. That's it, working quite nice. And then we had a break of it. And we bounced. We seemed to go sideways a bit. But what I like is, as far as I know, the penguin way of thinking is we have a break. We made two attempts to push upwards. Now, if you're taking this maybe as a triple test, you would take that. Now, I wouldn't take that personally. One, because it's going into the midline, and two, because I'm crap at triple tests and picking tops. But I've heard the penguins say quite a few times, we strongly push through the EMA, so I like that. Now, when we had that strong push down, excuse me, I'm expecting then to break these lows. Because, you know, up to now, it's relatively strong, isn't it? We had a strong push down, and then we had another channel, a little bit less sort of aggressive, and we're going to have a break at some time. We had a break there, and I like the way it was almost like a triple test, so that's one reason to possibly take it. Not good enough for me because, as I mentioned, it's not one of my strong points. But what I do like is we had those three we hit. When I drew that to that, it fitted nice at the bottom. So all these little extra adds sort of points. So I'm expecting then quite likely we're going to break the new lows, and then it pushed through really strongly. So what I did then is I dropped a limit order there. I'm not going to take it down there because it's, you know, you've got to apparently make a new room to the lows. But so you've got the strong downtrend, which I thought that's a good reason to be obviously looking for shorts. We had the breakout, we went a little bit sideways, and it was also sort of a triple test, one push up, two push up, and then maybe three push up. So a triple test. You could even say, if you had it, I think I had it like that initially, it's sort of a breakout, a failed breakout. So there's another reason to take it. In fact, I'll leave that there. Actually, it's probably more it's probably sort of more accurate. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 good touches. Excuse me. So I often hear the penguin guys say we push strongly through the EMA, and that's the difference between Mac, whereas we might pick that, he'll wait for a move, although he took his trade there. but obviously he's way more experienced than me. But when it pushed through, often when you have this, it'll come back and retest the top, and it did. It just caught me. But then, obviously, it worked. Now, I was a little bit lower than where I probably should have been, but usually I think it was 20, was it 21 points? I think I've adjusted it, wasn't it? Yeah, I think it was 21. It's a little bit lower, but normally you'd expect to break the low and it would do it by that. So I thought, and I'm only on a demo anyway, so you just got to let it go. But that worked actually really nice. So that gave me 5.25 points, which is more points in a day than I've had for a long time. Now, if I eventually go to evaluation, which I will at some point, I'll bring it down to one contract because obviously the risks are bigger. I wouldn't risk 5.25 points on a 2-contract trade, but I'd risk on a 1-contract trade. All it means is it's just over 2.5 points if you think about it. If you know, so he took that one as well. So the fact that I liked where I brought that to, I originally brought it to around here somewhere. It fitted nice at the bottoms. Obviously the break and the triple test. Just the fact that we had a downtrend and the fact that we pushed strongly through the EMA and came back and retested it was what made me take that trade. And I noticed later in the day he took it as well. Now this one I posted it in the Penguin guys Discord when I was live in there. I think we were just pulling back, but I did see it come down and get very close. But as far as I'm concerned, the Penguin guy does, I wish I knew his name rather than call him Penguin guy, he does occasionally get out of a trade if it goes sideways, but in all fairness, there's nothing really sideways about that. And not only that, we had a bit of a leg down, and I thought if you have another leg down, we should catch that. And we're out before the lows, and obviously we had that pullback and then straight down and took it out as well. So 8.75 points for the day. That's more points than I've got in the day. Now, granted, I haven't had any losers. I could have had some losers. And it's certainly, you know, in my opinion, easier to trade a downtrend than it is when something's ranging. When it's ranging, it's a little bit more complicated. But it's very similar to Mac's. Mac may have taken this, or someone may have taken this, I don't know, depending if you're thinking it's, you know, it's hit this, but sort of very similar, really. That would be more of a triple test where Mac might take it there. And same there, we got a leg down, a break and a new low. We've made 2 attempts. So from the Penguin point of view, he'll say that quite a lot. We had a leg down, we had a break, we had a new low. We made 2 more attempts to push higher, failure. And then obviously we had this, it stopped, and then it dropped down quite strongly. And same again, I put that in on a limit order. It dropped strongly and it came back and had a couple of retests and then pushed down. But I like the fact that he took those, because obviously if the guy that's teaching you how to do a specific system, if you can, if you end up taking the same trades that he does, it obviously tells you you're thinking around the light, that you're thinking along the right lines. But I will say, obviously, you know, understanding what's going on, reading the market, all that experience has come from Mac. So I'll certainly be always grateful to Mac for the very small amount. So if you look what's happening now, look how it's responding to this. I did say if it hits this, it may come down. So you could say there's a break. There's a first breaker there, and there's a new high bearish bar. It's actually not a massive bar. But it's not the sort of trade we take with the Penguin. I think we wait for a push below the EMA, but at the moment, really, yeah, we've had a break, but there is a little channel going there, and we've been pushing down all day, really, with the exception of this little bit here. So, you know, you want to start to move, really, but obviously it's a break out of this. We've hit this area here, which I drew earlier on in the day, because it quite often now I can actually make that fit. Just a slight little micro adjustment there actually makes no difference whatsoever there, but it fits beautifully. Excuse me. And look how it's starting to respond to there. But yeah, we had this channel, a bit of a break and a new high. So whether anybody would take that, in fact, you could probably say it's had a break out of that already in a new high. But I suppose if you're thinking along Mac's line, you may take a lower high there. But it's up at the moment, really, and in my opinion, you've got to give it time to start working down when it does something like this. But anyway, it's not a great deal different. It's slightly on a bigger scale, and what I like about it, it gives you a little bit more time to think. Now, if you're going to take that as a triple test, that's where you would take that bar. Whether you would take it or not, I don't know. Whether it's a good triple test, as I mentioned, I'm not very good at triple tests. But then it pushes down really strongly, which for me is a good indication. And I put a limit order there and it came back and it nicked me there. So I kind of like that. And obviously we've been down, so you probably expect a new low, which is why the reason I got in there. And same with that one. That's a second entry short. Signal bar's not brilliant. EMA is a bit flat, but you may trap some longs there looking to pick a bottom. Because obviously we've hit this level here and we're coming away a little bit. So it's, I'm aware of that sometimes, that when we do start to come away, we may be losing some downward momentum, but it obviously had another couple of pushes down. So, but I like that. It confirms that channel there. Touch there, touch there, touch there. It is a second entry short, but I just waited, as the Penguin guy said, waited for it to push strongly below the EMA. It did. We had a nice big bearish bar there. Came back and got me, came back down, had another. That made me nervous when it started pushing back up. But it worked. And the Penguin guy took it. So at least I'm thinking around the right lines, but it's obviously early. Bit of beginner's luck. I have been watching his system for a while. But, I took a trade yesterday and it worked. And I took 2 trades there and it worked. Now, obviously, you can't base your success off 3 trades. But it's been a successful start, should we say, my sort of start to. Now, I don't know if anybody knows, I did do a video last week that I said I wanted to slightly move away from Max. Not because I don't think it's a good system, because I'm quite a wired person. And with Max system, you don't have a lot of time to think. You've got to make very quick decisions. And because I'm wired, I am wondering whether I get a little bit too excitable and jump into trades without thinking. But what I like about this system is it's very similar to Max, but it does give you a little bit more time to think. That push down. So if I'm taking a trade there, EMA's facing up, it's going sideways. But I like the fact that I don't just take a trade here and hope I'm right at the triple test. I wait for it to push strongly, and it really did push nice and strongly. 275, 375. It's like a 4.25 point bar straight down. And we do hear the Penguin guy say quite a few times it pushed strongly, and it did whack straight through the EMA. So for me, with a break and another clear, a couple of attempts to go higher and then push down. But I like the fact that I don't have to take there. I can let it push down. I dropped the limit order, and by the time it came down, I got enough time to think, am I doing the right thing? Now, sometimes thinking too much can cause you some problems. Sometimes you've heard people say, don't think, do. But obviously, you've still got to analyse this. There is a lot of thinking going on there. But so that's that one. I like the way that pushed strongly down now. I was lucky that it just got me. But I noticed the Penguin guy took it just below there. But I was thinking, wait for it to push below, because I keep having him in his head. And obviously that one was a bit more straightforward. It was a second entry short. But I didn't just take it there and risk getting trapped. I let it push down and then come back and get me. So all in all, it's worked out okay. But that was my reasoning from there. Break of the downtrend, made 2 more attempts to push higher. Looking to make a new low of this channel. Strong push down through the EMA. Took a short limit order as it pulled back up. So I got 5.25 points for that one. Same with that one. A break of the downtrend. Was it a break? So I put break of downtrend. Oh, sorry, yeah. That was the downtrend I was looking at the time. We got a downtrend, we had a break of new low, yeah. So break of downtrend, new low, 2 clear attempts to push higher. Pretty strong downtrend. I like that bar. For me, but I didn't just take it there. I let it push down with that bar first and then took it on a limit order because often when it pushes through the EMA, it will come back and test it. So yeah, so all in all, both trades he took. So that's encouraging for me. It's always nice if the guy that's, the boss man, whether it be the Penguin guy or Mac, it's always nice if they take that particular trade, because at least it tells you you're thinking along the same lines. But same with that one, I didn't just pick there, I gave it a little bit more time to come back. So it does give you a little bit more time to think. And I think that's where I may have went wrong. Now, what I will say is, if you learn a strategy, some types of trading, some styles of trading aren't for everybody. I know when I first started learning to trade with a guy called Andrew Lockwood, a British trader who worked for lots of city banks and worked in the London Stock Exchange during the 80s, worked all over the world, and he told me that some people suit scalping, some people suit more intraday trading, and some people suit more longer term type trading, more swing trading or long term position. It depends on your personality. It depends on you, but you'll naturally find your way. And that's why I think I didn't give Max 6 months. Excuse me. I gave it 2.25 years. Now, some might say, well, it takes long. Well, I don't doubt it does, but I find myself sometimes jumping into trades without thinking. And I'm just wondering whether it's because of my personality, because I am such a wired person, and sometimes I jump before I think. So what I like about this, as I've mentioned a few times, that it does give you a little bit more time to think and plan, and that extra minute or whatever can make all the difference sometimes, because so much of the time Max trades, they come really quickly and you don't get much time to think, and there lies the problem if you've got a personality that's quite hyper like me. So there you go. I just wanted to make a quick video just to tell you what I was up to and what I've been doing today, but I've been trading on a sim, lovely and relaxing. I got to say, take away the money, so I'm going to trade a sim for a while and then just focus on the process. But I have a trader buddy who converted over to this. So it took him about 3 months to sort of get the gist of it, because obviously Mac taught him to sort of read this chart, and obviously it's just a matter of converting over to the slightly different style, slightly different entries. But I'm pleased today. It's been a relaxing day. I haven't traded for a massive amount of the time I've been in and out. I've been popping in and out. But I've enjoyed the sort of bit more of a break a week, and I've enjoyed to get away from the money side of it, in all fairness. But that's it. That's me. I'll be back on Monday, and I'll be trading this style. But nothing's going to change. I'll still be drawing the same old charts as Max, really. It's just my entries will be slightly different. So it's Friday, so I hope everyone's had a great week, a positive week, and have a great relaxing weekend. And I will be back live streaming this normal time just after or just before the market officially opens on Monday. So have a great weekend, stay safe, and I'll see you all ready to trade on Monday. Bye for now.